ready to get in the zone. Now, you're in the red zone with your host, Gene Ponte and Joey Pender.
Well, everybody, the opening round of the Louisiana High School football playoffs are in the can. Joey Pender, Gene Ponte sitting in with you here on a Wednesday night. And I'll tell you, Joey, before we start talking football, it is obviously football weather, although I could do without all the rain and nastiness we had back on Monday and Tuesday because it has been a crazy week. But, boy, it's certainly got a chill in the air, and it's nice to have now that we're into the postseason.
And, you know, Gene, with all the turf fields around, what a difference that makes. I mean, you can go out after a big storm and never slip on that turf. Yeah. And, you know, it's not like the old turf where people think injuries. It's a lot safer than the regular grass.
Well, you've been doing this a long time, 33 years, I think. The mentality of football teams going into the playoffs has to change somewhat if you're going to make that 5-week run.
Well, you know, once you get past the 10-game mark, and now it's time if you're a good football team to shift gears, Gene. You got to start thinking, I got a 5-game season, I got to lay it on the line, and as a coaching staff, you got to target those games that you know your team's really got to be up to play. So I'm sure the teams that's going to make a deep run, they got games targeted on their schedule here on out that's a big game.
And you better not get caught looking too far ahead.
That's right.
Don't put that cart before the horse.
That's right.
All right, everybody. We have got a lot to talk to you about tonight here on a Wednesday as we get ready for week number, 12 at the high school football playoffs, and we'll begin to do that when we come back.
It's been a few years since my playing days.
Even longer for me, but the dedication to hard work,
The competition too, Dad.
has laid the foundation for the type of attorneys we are.
Our team at the Downs Law Firm is proud to support our local high school football programs.
All season long, you'll hear us on K104 Friday Night Scoreboard Show, and this year we're helping to raise money for local charities as part of our Game of the Week.
Winning on and off the field.
It's what we do.
Get in the game. Call Ross.
Louisiana Delta Community College is your community college. Whatever your aspirations, we're here to help. We offer transfer degrees if you'd like to continue on to university life. We offer associate degrees that can take you to the workforce or to a university. We even offer programs that teach you only the skills you need for the job. That's not all. If you think you missed out because you didn't earn your high school degree, we can even help with that. Call us today. We have 8 locations to serve you. Louisiana Delta Community College.
As a local business owner, one of the things I like to do is work with other local businesses. And when we started our company back in 1995, one of the things we realized that we needed for our employees was a quality health insurance plan. That's why finding a company like Vantage that's a local company that provides quality health care and networks with other doctors was just a natural fit for us. If you're a local business owner and you're looking for a quality health insurance plan, I suggest that you give Vantage a call. I think you'll be just as satisfied with their product as I have been.
High school football in the Arklamis. It's where hometown legends are made. It's where loyal fans come together every Friday night. Some call it an obsession. At NBC 10, we call it a proud tradition. And no one covers your team like our team.
Everybody, before we start talking about our teams in 5A, another quick reminder that at this time next Wednesday night, thanks to our good friends over at Sonic Drive-Ins, we're going to be giving away a $2,000 college scholarship. And I know tonight's a Wednesday night. If for those of you that may have let this thing escape you by, I got to think maybe they'll give you till lunchtime tomorrow to get your application in. But after that, I know the committee is sitting down on Friday and over the course of the weekend, and we're going to make somebody pretty darn happy next week.
What'll be bad, Gene, if that family says, you know, I should have went by there and done that.
Don't want to know.
Go get it done now. Go get it done.
No question. Well, we appreciate all our great friends over at Sonic. So drop by in Monroe, West Monroe, Jonesboro, or Winfield and get that puppy done. Maybe you can get that thing in by noon tomorrow. All right, man, let's talk football. I went out and videotaped some of the beginning of that West Monroe ball game. They had the opening round matchup against Pineville. This thing got ugly early and often. That probably doesn't come as any surprise. And as you look at some of that ball game, you could tell this football team was ready to play. And, you know, Gary Common, I think, has done a great job at that quarterback spot. But, boy, Michael Hamburg, what a night he had. And on the first possession that the Rebels had, he took that baby to the house for a touchdown and made it 7-zip. They came right back with the inside game, managed to kind of throw it around on the corners some. And then Ryland Green made a nice catch over in the back right corner for another score to make it 14-zip. And I'm telling you, the points kept coming, and they came from long distance, too. I think they had 4 touchdowns from outside 50 yards. But now, Joey, the focus changed. They get ready for a Captain Shreve team that I think they're certainly going to be better than, at least physically and game plan-wise. What do you think?
Well, they got a new quarterback. His name is Darius Grant. Real good athlete, Gene. Scrambles really well. And against West Monroe, he's going to need that scrambling ability.
Yes, he will. Hey, Coach, tell us about him.
Well, they play good defense for one thing, and the next thing is they've got an awful large offensive line, and they're very aggressive. They do a good job of running the football, and they can throw the ball when they want to. 2 good quarterbacks, a good runner. The little running back is a very good football player, and they get behind those bigger offensive linemen. It's hard to find them.
And if you Rebel fans need reminding, and probably don't, that ball game over at Don Shaw's Field. All right, let's talk about the Ruston Bearcats. They beat Como this past Friday night, and I thought Jared Ball certainly has his team ready to play. On the show last week, he talked about things that they needed to get done, and as you can see, man, it really worked out well for them. Eric Outley hit Marcus Harris for an early touchdown. DeAndre Griffin took a score in to make it 21-zip when our cameras got by there. Here in round 2, they face a team that they just faced off against the Ash Trojans, a district foe, but and a team that played them well.
Played them well, Gene, and they have a quarterback that Thomas Baldwin, their coach there. This is his 3rd year there, Gene, and Thomas is a heck of a coach, did a great job at Bastrop. This kid's name is Ben Hassan. All the folks in the Alexander area say he's the best athlete there.
Well, they were leading the Bearcats by 2 scores at halftime before Ruston got the smelling salts in and woke up and ended up winning that thing by a dozen. But should be a good football game. Jared, tell us about them.
Something that we talked about Saturday morning when the kids came in to lift weights and run, that just because you are able to beat someone one time during the season, it makes it a little more difficult. You know, normally the second time that you see someone, the defenses play a little bit better because they're more familiar with what the other team does offensively. So we'll need to be able to execute offensively to try to get the ball moved against those guys. But I think our guys will be mature enough to handle not looking ahead, focusing in on what we need to do Friday.
Now, this past Friday night, another team in 5A that probably had a little bit closer of a scare than maybe even they anticipated were the Lions of Ouachita. Parkway came in here and gave them all they could handle.
Yeah, I tell you, Parkway's a good football team, and boy, he took them to the wire now.
A couple of big plays. Kobe Gill took that one in on a 46-yard touchdown. That was from the Panthers, obviously exposing some weaknesses in that Lions secondary. But Ouachita came back late in the 4th quarter. They were up 9, and then he found Gill again. That one was good for a 91-yard strike. That's the one that I think was the backbreaker, and Ouachita gets the 37-35 win.
The schedule in 5A is going to be Captain Shreve at West Monroe, Alexander at Ruston, and Ouachita at Terrebonne. Makes sure you go support your team.
No question about it. Not going to be an easy trip to South Louisiana for the Lions. All right, big boy, let's talk 4A football. The Neville Tigers, obviously a strong seed at number 4 with an opening round game. They took care of Opelousas as expected, and that's, again, not real big surprise. They were a 29 seed, and the Tigers struck early, too. Man, they went right down to the red zone. Andrew Greeley comes right at you for a nice touchdown, and then they went back to work. Watch Marvion Young. He came in on the dive for an easy score. Even Andrew Brister, man, he continues to impress. He's such a big kid. Dropped one in the bucket to Josh Hopkins. Tigers looking very strong. They get a little piece of Pearl River on Friday night.
You know, Pearl River has 20 starters back, 19 or 20, Gene. But I think they got the best kicker in the state. At least that's what some of the newspaper articles are saying. His name is Hunter Markinson, a real strong leg.
Well, I'm sure the Tigers are hoping that's all they see out of them, and that's maybe field goal attempts and not kickoffs.
That's right.
Hey, Mickey, give us your scouting report.
32 teams started the 4A bracket last week, and 16 moved forward, and Neville's one of those. And that was a goal when the week started, and the kids responded and played well for us last week. Now looking ahead, a round of 16, another good opponent, another chance to play at home. We're excited about that. And, you know, today's Monday, so we got to get to work. A lot to work on to get ready for a good, solid team coming up. Well, they want to run the football at you offensively. They have a back down there that has done a great job for them. He's up over 1,000 yards. They're a good wing T scheme. They're real solid offensively and defensively. As you said, they had a great game with Franklin Parish last week out of our district. They played an absolute slop down there. It was a really wet field, and but both teams played extremely hard, and Pearl was the team that came out on top.
Of course, we mentioned Pearl River. That was the team that took out our other 4A participant in the opening round, and that was Franklin Parish. Hey, kudos to the Patriots. They went on the road down there, and they went down there with the we're coming back with a W attitude. They scored with an opportunity to win that thing, decided to go for 2 for the W very, very late in the fourth quarter, didn't get it, and ended up losing by 1. Pearl River gets to come back up here and get another piece of 2-4A.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, I'm sure they're going to get tired of seeing this district, Gene, because it's one of the best in the state.
No question about it. All right, everybody, the Bastrop Rams, you're looking at some of their ball game this past Friday night. They started things off against McDonough 35. Of course, they came up out of the New Orleans area. Quintarius Hawkins got hit by Desmond Tolbert for the sack, but that was only one of those plays that just kind of stunned them for a bit. And even though the Ron Eagles are a good football team, when it was all said and done, Bastrop, I think, just had too many athletes on this night, and they ended up winning this thing very, very big by a score of 44-16. They take to the road down to that Lake Charles area and play Westgate on Friday, Joey.
And Westgate's got a heck of a running back, Gene. Tyrese Jackson, 6'2", 235. 4.5 and a 40. That's awful fast for a big man.
Pretty salty. Adrian?
We got Westgate out of New Iberia this Friday going down there. It's going to be a tough road trip. They've been playing very well as of late. A lot of athletes, some big rangy kids that can play football, so it should be an interesting game this coming Friday. The secondary stood out. The defense as a whole stood out. Offense, we played well throughout the game, but the defense continues to make turnovers. They continue to play fast, and they really are the staple of our team right now.
All right, good luck to you, Rams, on Friday night. Folks, if you're driving down there, be careful. You're looking at the schedule. We are down to 2. Neville at home, Bastrop on the road. Commercial break time, everybody. See you back after this here on the Ross Downs Red Zone.
When you're thinking wings, there's only one place to go. Go Wings, where you'll find many unique wing flavors to choose from. Hot lemon pepper, bacon bourbon, garlic parmesan, buffalo ranch, and much more. There's hand-dipped corn dogs and fresh squeezed lemonade, too. And always make room for dessert, because the fried pies are phenomenal. Who can resist a fried apple or lemon pie? Open from 11 to late, 7 days a week. Go Wings. It's where to go for wings.
If chronic pain limits your life, the doctors at Louisiana Pain Care can offer non-surgical treatments like epidural steroid injections.
An epidural steroid injection is a non-surgical treatment we perform for neck, mid-back, and low back pain. Spinal injections should be performed by a board-certified specialist, and we are the only board-certified pain management doctors here in Northeast Louisiana. Most patients return to their normal activities right away.
If chronic pain limits your life, see the specialist at Louisiana Pain Care.
$2.99 for a Car Hop Classic. What a steal.
Steal. That's a heist. Put this on.
Oh, disguise.
I don't think I can eat in this. It's all part of the plan, my friend.
Get a quarter-pound double cheeseburger or a Slinger Plus Tots for $2.99. Try it today.
You're the first one up in the morning. You're ready for the day, and you've got a lot to do. But sometimes you need a bigger shovel. For over 17 years, Kepper Dirt and Equipment Rental has been keeping the big boys in the big toys. Doesn't matter if you're a hunter, farmer, contractor, or you just like getting dirty. We've got the steel to get the job done right. Kepper Dirt and Equipment Rental. Work done right.
Fox 14, the official home for NFL and New Orleans Saints football.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show, and glad to have in the house. We've talked about them a couple of times this year, and that's the guys from Union Christian, who on Thursday night will be playing for a state championship. And their head coach, Trey Fulton, joins us here for a couple of minutes. And more than anything else, congratulations on the great run. I know you and I visited a couple of weeks ago when I was up in Farmerville, but man, what a nice year it's been, huh?
It's been a good one. I told these guys all season long I think they were the best Class A team in the MAIS, and you know we're one game away from proving it.
That'd be pretty sweet. Well, Coach, tell me a little bit about your football team. Not often do a lot of folks get a chance to catch you guys out, but I know we've shot a couple of your contests at Channel 10. But hey, Lions playing good football, and I know you're proud of what you've done this season.
We did the things we needed to do. Had some exciting brand of football, I think. We can move the ball. We're facing Tunica this week. They're a powerful team, and it's going to be a little different matchup, their power versus our speed.
Well, we'll certainly talk about Tunica here in just a couple of minutes, but I know you got a couple of guys with you tonight who we certainly want to meet and learn a little bit about.
I've got Nick Evans. He's a running back and a linebacker. He's approaching 2,000 yards on the season, got about 25 touchdowns. And Grant Towns, he's a defensive back and a receiver, one of the best blocking receivers in MAIS. He was out last year with a knee injury and returned for his senior year this year. We're glad to have him back.
Well, Grant, congratulations on that, man. It's impressive stuff. Nick, you probably went to the Joey Pender, Gene Ponte running backs camp because, you know, we each had, I think, 200 yards. Okay, maybe not that many.
On a good night.
On a good night.
Yeah.
But, hey, anyway, Nick, congratulations on the year. I know you guys are excited to be in the position y'all are. You had a nice win against Columbus the other night. Talk to me a little bit about the year and how special it's been.
Yeah, it's been a good year for the team because, you know, as far as we've been, you know, going to the state championship, I think if we played good, individually, for me, it's been a good year. You know, last year wasn't a good year. I was injured most of the year, so doing this year for me, I feel pretty good, and you know, our team is good.
Nothing like having the opportunity to play for it all, too, in the week. Joey?
Hey, Grant, for Coach to bring up that your blocking skills are, that kind of tells me right off the bat, after coaching for 33 years myself, what kind of player you are, being a team guy. Because a lot of receivers don't like to block, so evidently you take a lot of pride in it. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
You stalk it? You ever grind somebody in the ground like an offensive line?
It just depends on which way they want to go.
You know, I always said when you pancake somebody, what a good feeling that is. Evidently, you've experienced that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, Grant, talk to me about the season for you. Coming back off an injury sometimes is a tough thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been hard, but I mean, you gotta want it. I mean,
what's made this year so much more special than any one previous?
Senior year. It's my last chance to do something. I mean,
Did you guys kind of sense, Nick, you can jump in too, did y'all kind of sense as the season developed along the way that y'all had a chance to make a run at this thing?
I believe that we've always had a chance, but, due to like numbers, that injuries and stuff, that it's different this year. Everybody's healthy, and I feel like that this is the year that we're doing that because we're healthy.
Coach, still a lot of football to be played. One big game on Thursday night. I know you're not changing the preparation for it this week.
No, we're gonna do the things that got us here. We're, no sense in going in. We see things we can do better. It might be a tweak here and there, but we're gonna do what got us here, and we've done it pretty well. So no sense in changing up. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Well, Grant, I know that team has a couple of running backs. Coach and I were talking about earlier that are pretty salty. Tell me what you've seen on those about those guys. Watching a little tape on them.
They're strong. They're not fast. I mean, as long as we hit them and wrap up and gain tackle, we won't have a problem with them.
Hey, and that's the one thing you kind of said. You guys have the speed and more than you think they do.
A lot of hats on the ball. That's what we're after. Hey, if we can control those two, I think we're okay. You let them loose, one-on-one, a little tougher.
It'll be a long
They're good. They're quality players.
Nick, as a linebacker, you get a chance to set the tone in that football game with two good running backs. So I imagine you taking that as a challenge. These two good running backs coming and y'all playing for the state championship. It's kind of man on man, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I want to just, make them feel my presence.
There you go.
Make lay the wood first, not let them come at me first. So it's gonna be a big challenge.
Gene, I always like to hear a linebacker say, "Lay the wood." I like that thing.
Not afraid to hit anybody.
That's right.
Hey, Coach, before we let you get out of here real quick, you guys are making the transition, which I think makes this weekend a chance to play for a title even more special. You guys are moving to 8-man football, as are many teams in the private league. Your thoughts about making that move and what's ahead for the Lions?
I think number-wise, it's kind of like Nick said earlier. You always have a problem with numbers. You're going out there with 21 guys. You've got your 11 starters. You lose one, you have some problems. And just like Nick had no carries. We played him defense only last year just because of a high ankle sprain and tried him a couple times. He wasn't ready. The fewer numbers, we won't have so many problems, I don't think. And, we're kind of looking forward to it. Well, the teams that play seem to enjoy it. We played a game this year. It's 46-6 at halftime, and we went home. That's about what it was. Nick had 2 carries in that game for 125 yards. He enjoyed it, but we pulled him out after his second carry. So he was done for the night.
Well, guys, we wish y'all the best of luck Thursday night playing over to Jackson Academy, by the way, folks, in Jackson, Mississippi. Coach, best of luck. Real pleasure covering you guys this year, and hope y'all come back with the big trophy on Thursday.
I hope so. I appreciate you.
It'd be pretty sweet. All right, folks, Union Christian, the Lions with a big game this coming week. All right, time for us to take a quick commercial break. Joey and I have a lot more football to talk about, and we'll do that after this.
Body aches can be tough on your day-to-day life, but they're preventable. Chiropractic care is not about pills and surgery. It's about solving the problem, not just the symptoms, the natural way. If you have aches and pains or headaches, chiropractic care can get you back on the road to feeling better. In Northeast Louisiana, patients have relied on the professionalism of Dr. Bob Rendina at the Chiro Network Chiropractic Center in Ruston. You should too, and get back to living.
Relax at Dax. Bring your whole crew. You can get together with all your friends and family at Dax, where there's always good food, good brew, and good times. Dax is a great place to watch the game. Enjoy appetizers and drinks while you watch. Dive into our delicious burgers, signature wings, or one of the favorites from the grill. We have a wide selection of drinks to choose from, including daiquiris. Relax at Dax, Forsyth Avenue in Monroe.
At Highcombe Eye Center, restoring your vision is our passion. Pioneering new technology and setting new standards in cataract care. Exclusively at Highcombe Eye Center, we offer the combination of the precision of the Aura as well as the planned accuracy of the Varian Alcon Duet.
Cataract surgery with the Aura and Varian system is the next step in personalized surgery in ophthalmology. It truly improves the patient's vision and improves their lives.
Call to schedule your cataract evaluation.
Again, that's where we are located each and every week, right here off of Desert Street in Monroe, off of 165, as you kind of tunnel your way over to ULM, and located on the right. I'll tell you to come check it out. It is very good food. In fact, we're going to be jumping into this a lot here in the next few minutes. I don't mind telling you that. But anyway, come by and check them out and tell them you saw it here on the Red Zone. All right, Haynesville and Sicily Island on Friday night. Two teams that I never thought I'd put together. Yeah. Haynesville certainly deserving of their seed. Been there, done that, have all the state championships. We know all about that. They're going to play up in the Piney Woods of Haynesville. But look, folks, Sicily Island, a big congratulations to them. You know, they just restarted football 4 years ago. Didn't have any wins in that first season. I think they were 5-5 this year, but they got a big win on Friday night against Fornado. So congratulations to them. First playoff win, I think, in 20 years, Joey.
And what a job Donald Money's doing his second year there, Gene. To bring that program back for being dead, you know, what a great statement they're making, and a big playoff win last week.
No question, a great story there. Of course, we'll have some highlights of that ball game for you this coming Friday night on Football Friday Night Extra at 11 o'clock here on Fox, so we'll certainly hope you'll join us. All right, Oak Grove Tigers, another team that was on the shelf in the opening week. You know, we had Ryan Gregory in here talking about his football team last Wednesday night. I mean, we know how solid they are. They get to host Slaughter Charter, and I know you and I both love that team. They up and out of the Baton Rouge area, but, man, Oak Grove's got it going on. Tell us a little bit about the team they're facing.
Well, Slaughter Charter, one thing that really alarms you about a team like this, the quarterback is named Shane Duncan. He's a quarterback on offense, but he also plays defensive end on defense. So when you face a guy that plays defensive end and playing quarterback, you know he's going to be physical, Gene.
That's perhaps an understatement. Coach?
We'll be playing Slaughter Charter. They're out of Slaughter, Louisiana. This is their, I think, 4th or 5th year to have a team. First playoff win, they had a big win against LaSalle. We'll be playing them out here at Tiger Stadium at 7 p.m. Friday night. Really athletic team. Got a lot of receivers that look good catching the football, some big defensive linemen, so it'll be a test for us for sure. We got some guys that's played a lot of football for us. We don't have a whole lot of seniors, but the ones we have been starting for 3 or 4 years, and you know, their leadership in big games and being able to, you know, control the emotions, because every game's going to be, you know, up and down, so just being able to withstand all that in the middle is really big to be able to lean on your seniors. We took advantage of the bye week, was able to get some people healthy, but was also able to work on some things, some small little things that we thought we needed to get better at. And we just really took advantage of the fact that we didn't have to get ready for a game on Friday night, so we had some more extra time that was able to work on little bitty things.
Of course, we wish all our teams the best of luck for Friday night, and the Tigers are certainly one of them, and deserving of where they are as far as power rankings. I do know and understand that one of our old buddies was in town early in the week, up in the Grove.
Well, I got word got back to me, Gene, that, you know, Vic Dalrymple went by to see Rhino. Well. And, you know, for a long time, I thought that was...
You smelled them first.
Well, I thought it was a paper bill, Gene, but evidently, Gene, Vic's back in town.
Anyway, him and Ryan are 2 peas, huh?
Oh, there's no doubt. They just alike.
All right, guys. Good luck this coming weekend. All right, Jonesboro Hodge. You know, we've been keeping up with those guys all season long. Terrence Blankenship has done a phenomenal job with that program as well. You're looking at some of their contests against Delta Charter. I thought they looked very strong. He felt confident going into that ball game that they were going to win that thing, and that's the kind of attitude you have to have. But, man, they are a 9 seed going to place at 8 down at Oberlin.
Yeah. And Oberlin's got a heck of a football team with 38 lettermen back, Gene. They have a huge offensive line, and it's led by Mackenzie Carrier, 6'5", 330 pounds.
Well, I caught up with Terrence to get his take on round 2. T?
territory for me. I've never been down to Overland, but we do have a lot of film on those guys. They're real big up front. They run that foot-to-foot offense where they just try to get 3 yards in a cloud of dust and maybe get to sleep and throw the ball down the field for a big play. But hopefully our guys will be up for the task of stopping the run and kind of speed the game up and use our speed to our advantage.
Hey, also in 1A football on Friday night, it will be interesting to see how those Delhi Bears take on round 2. It's another program we've followed all year long. And Coach, I think, certainly has those guys playing very well. They're a great Christian group that seems very close, which I think is important at this time of the year, too. They made it look relatively easy in their win over North Central on Friday night. But obviously, they'll have to shift gears a little bit as they get ready to take on East Iberville.
East Iberville's got a heck of a running back, Gene. He's returned. He's a 3-year starter. Randall Daniels, a heck of a football player.
Hey, Coach, give us your scouting report on these dudes.
This Friday, we'll be playing the East Iberville from down in near New Orleans. We're going to play them here at Delhi at 7 o'clock. So we're right here at Bear Stadium. We're going to try to get around to the second round. We call this our senior season. This is when our seniors get a chance for recruiting because a lot of people don't know about us, and a lot of times our seniors don't have an opportunity to be seen. So for us, this is called the senior season. So we say the further we go, the more exposure our seniors get. And so that's kind of what we look at. This is our senior season. We're playing for our seniors. This is their last go-round, so we're trying to make sure that we give them our best on the way out.
All right, everybody, a reminder, Delhi at home on Friday night, and here's the rest of the 1A schedule, Joey.
Slaughter Charter is going to Oak Grove, Sister Island, and Hazel. East Iberville and Delhi, and Jonesboro Hodge and Oakland.
All right, we're shifting gears a little bit now and talking D football, no thanks to the select, non-select. But, boy, one of the most impressive runs all season long have been the Warriors of St. Frederick. I think Andy Robinson has done a fantastic, phenomenal job with that program this year. Looked very, very good against Sacred Heart the other night. I can't think of the last time they had a home game in the playoffs. I guess they'd have to go back to that state championship run they had. But, boy, they looked good, didn't they, Joey?
Well, I can tell you, and Andy's doing a wonderful job, but he's got a really experienced staff, and those guys are really getting the most out of those players.
Well, if you want to be on the right side of the bracket in D4, you want to be where they are. And even though it means the road trip down to the 3rd seed Vermilion Catholic on Friday night, the opportunities at least present themselves for a W. Coach?
Well, obviously, you know, to be able to earn the right to host a first-round playoff game with the things we've done in the regular season. Guys were excited to come out and play in front of our home crowd. Played well all year at home, and Friday night was no exception. Obviously, the defense had a big night for us, able to hold those guys in check and able to get up a couple of scores and just kind of finish the ball game and move forward in the playoffs. And, you know, just a lot of excitement. Alumni and family and friends and the student body is super excited about what's going on. And big challenge this week headed down to Vermilion Catholic. We're traveling down to the 3 seed. They've been ranked a little higher in the state all year. Really good football team, you know. They're going to be favored to win the game, so we're kind of the underdog role, which we've been in several times, and our guys kind of seem to answer that bell. So it'll be an exciting game. I hope we can go down there and keep the game close enough and make it a ball game in the 4th quarter and see where the Warriors come out.
Boy, as impressive as the Warriors been, and best of luck to you guys on Friday night. Ouachita Christian, Joey, got out on the road. They went all the way down to South Louisiana, south of Lafayette to take care of business. And, man, I thought they just dominated in their ball game. We sent Chris Demersion over there to talk with Coach about this next game. He's got the #1 seed in Southern Lab coming to the house. Here's Chris.
Hey, Gene and Joey, got Coach Stephen Fitzhugh of the OCS Eagles, the victorious OCS Eagles. Coach, big one on the road last week, especially in a college atmosphere, essentially.
I tell you, it was a great win for us, and it was great to be able to play at Nicholls State. You know, they accommodated us, and I appreciate Coach Minton down at Central Catholic working that out to where we could play on a great surface. And so it was great win, great atmosphere, and that's the way we want to get started in the playoffs.
Speaking of starts, you got to a fast start in that game. I believe you led 21-0 at one point in the ball game. Coach, how do you guys get rolling that early?
Well, I tell you, our guys, you know, they were ready to play, and defensively we were able to hold them, you know, 3 plays and out. Offense capitalized on it. Special teams did a great job with kick returns, with putting pressure on their punt team. And so, again, we just came out real fast, and everything clicked, and we kept that momentum rolling. And so it's critical to get off to a great start in the playoffs. And so that's going to be important again this week.
You know, Coach, I'm doing research on you guys. You guys have a number of weapons in offense. That's one thing that's really driven you guys this season is the offense, led by Turner Carr. He can throw it, he can run it, plus a number of other guys.
They have. Offense has done a great job. Lots of weapons. You know, several guys carried the ball the other night. Again, Turner and Will Fitzhugh have both done a great job running the football. Bub Mathern does all the dirty work, blocking for them with those linemen joining in as well. That they just get the job done. And then, you know, Gavin Shepard, Eli Eckstein, Hunter Herring, those are all guys that in the last several weeks and really throughout the year, any one of those guys can take the game over in the passing game. And, you know, Hunter Herring had close to 1,000 yards or 100 yards receiving last week. Gavin Shepard had a big week the week before. Eli's had a big week. And so, again, a lot of weapons, and Turner does a good job of spreading the ball around.
Now, as far as that road playoff game goes, you guys are away from OCS. You guys are supposed to be nervous, afraid. You guys did none of that.
No, you know, that's one thing. Again, it's playoff time. Our guys had their mind right, and we were excited about the opportunity that go on the road and take care of business. And we got the opportunity to host number one in the second round at our place. And it's supposed to be cold up here on Friday night as well. So we're excited about that. That was a motivating factor for us as well.
Coach, you love that cold weather, don't you?
Yeah, well, I can bundle up pretty good, but I especially like it when South Louisiana teams have to come up here and play in it. So I think the forecast is about 37 degrees for Friday night. Ooh. So, that's a good fit.
I need you to shoot this game for me on Friday. Hey, that being said, with the Southern Lab coming in, 11-1. I saw last week they scored 49 on St. Mary's, scored 61 the week before that. For those of us who aren't privy to what Southern Lab is doing, what drives them offensively?
Well, I tell you, they are a pro formation offense, led offensive line-wise by Cardell Thomas. Big guy that moves extremely well. One of the top linemen in the entire nation. And he's going to be going to LSU, and with him is their star running back, Tyron Davis. And, outstanding running back. I saw him play as a sophomore and said this kid's really special. And he is outstanding running back. He's going to LSU as well. But, it's not just those two. They got several other weapons as well, big offensive line. So, again, our defense is going to have to make sure that we play assignment football, hit our gaps. And they were great tacklers. We could not miss tackles because he's kind of running back. You miss one tackle, and it's going to cost you.
Coach, confidence is everything in sports as in life. If you have it, you'll do well at whatever you do. But whenever you see number one in Southern Lab coming into OCS, are the players a little spooked out by what they see?
No, we're not. We've played Southern Lab before when they've had 15. I think in 2014 when we beat them and had a 45-6 lead at halftime, they had 15 Division I athletes on that team, and we didn't have any. And so our guys, we're not intimidated by a number that's in front of somebody's name. It's about going out, getting after it, and play hard, hitting aggressive football. And that's what we're going to do. We're playing at our place. And, again, our guys are playing well right now, playing with confidence. Offense has been really executing, doing well these last several games. And so, again, it comes down to out-hit, out-hustle. And that's what we preach here, and that's what we plan on doing Friday night.
They have a chance to do so Friday night at this place, OCS, at 7 o'clock against Southern Lab. Gene and Joey, back to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. Of course, the Cougars of Cedar Creek were also in D4 in the opening round of the playoffs. Were not as fortunate this past Friday night. They, too, had to hit the road. They were down at Vermilion Catholic. Very good football program, as most of you know that follow the game. And, of course, St. Fred's will get an up-close look at them on Friday night. Boy, just the Cougars fell behind early. You saw the touchdown early by Garrett Wiggins. Then they made a mistake in special teams, and that led to another score. They've got a couple of brothers down there, the Leger brothers, Drew and Ethan, who are really good football players for Vermilion, and that's something St. Fred's is going to have to deal with. But anyway, a tough loss. Congratulations on the season for the Cougars. All right, Joey, 2 games in D4.
2 games left in a D4. Southern Lab is coming to Ouachita, and Southern Lab is ranked #1 in the state, and St. Fred is heading to Vermilion Capital.
All right, folks, we're going to take ourselves a commercial break, bring it back here to Go Wings in Monroe, brought to you by our good buddy, attorney Ross Downs, here on the Red Zone. We'll talk that and a lot more with our teams in 3A football. We'll start with Sterlington right after this.
Enjoy the good times a little more with the right plan. State Farm agent Jeff Lamont is here to help you protect your dreams and loved ones with life insurance. Call Jeff Lamont today to find out which options are best for you. It's just another way we're here to help life go right.
Hungry for a big juicy steak? How about a rack of barbecue ribs? Well, there's no better place for meat than Randall's Fine Meats. Juicy, fresh-cut 1855 steaks, boudin and boudin balls, daily rib specials, just $11.99 a slab, stuffed pork chops, fresh-made meat pies, boiled shrimp, fried cracklings, big bone chicken, and stuffed potatoes. Randall's caters. Call and let us cater your next event. It's fresh every day at Randall's Fine Meats on the corner of Old Sterlington Road and Fink's Hideaway in Monroe.
$2.99 for a Car Hop Classic. What a steal.
Steal? That's a heist. Put this on.
Oh, it's a disguise.
I don't think I can eat in this. It's all part of the plan, my friend.
Get a quarter-pound double cheeseburger or a Slinger Plus Tots for $2.99. Try it today.
High school football in the Arklamis. It's where hometown legends are made. It's where loyal fans come together every Friday night. Some call it an obsession. At NBC 10, we call it a proud tradition. And no one covers your team like our team.
Zone, Joey Pender, Gene Ponte sitting in with you here on a Wednesday night on what has been a miserable week weather-wise, but I understand, at least according to our Jared Floyd, things are going to open up and should be relatively nice come Friday, with the exception of it being a little chilly. Sterlington, one of our area teams, fortunate enough to be playing at home. Also in the second round, they whipped up pretty good on Cohen, another one of those football teams out of the New Orleans area. And boy, I thought they had a great-looking uniform. Coach Doty putting those out earlier in the week. They got things going early with C.J. Colvin, took the kickoff, got a few blocks, and baby, he took that thing 85 yards to the house. You'd never know that he had torn his ACL back in the first game of the year. But boy, that guy had a career night, no question about it. But hey, they're going to have to kind of buckle down a little bit. They've got Church Point coming in on Friday.
And Church Point's a well-tested team throughout the playoffs, year in and year out. Gene, they got a running back, Rodney Duplantis, a real good football player. But the coach, Arsenault, has been there for 12 years, which is, you know, he's got an established program.
You don't hear much about Church Point very, very often. A little small community, but I've got some friends that live there, so I've heard they play good football, and they're very, very quick. Coach Doty?
And they're a very good football team, and, you know, one of the best teams we played this year. Be very fast, very well coached. So we'll have to be very physical this Friday night, and we'll have to get after them. We'll have to play our best to win.
Hey, I mentioned C.J. Colvin just a couple of minutes ago. You talk about a young man, comes from a great family, great football family, has had a brother that's played ball there, but boy, he got dealt some tough hands in his career, got injured in the first game of a couple of different seasons. Well, this past Friday night was kind of a breakout game for him. First, second, and third career touchdowns. Just a very, very special night. But anyway, here's a great story I think you'll enjoy from our Spencer Tillis.
CJ Colvin has been waiting on his moment for years. As a freshman, he showed his potential and earned a starting job on Sterlington's defense.
You know, CJ is a great weight room guy and a great teammate, so just a freak athlete. You know, CJ's special.
By his junior year, it looked like it was finally his time to shine. He changed positions and earned the starting job at running back, but his moment was going to have to wait. In the first game of the season, he'd dislocate some bones in his foot and be forced to sit out the rest of the season. Going into his senior year, it looked like Colvin's time had finally come. All through the fall, he showed just how dominant he really was. And then in their first game of the year, it happened again.
Like, I didn't hit no pop or nothing, like, it just gave out. Then when I was on the ground, I was yelling, I was like, oh, hope it ain't my ACL.
The results found that CJ had torn his right ACL, and that left him with a couple of options. Either end his season and get the surgery to fix his knee, or do 8 weeks of demanding rehab and maybe be able to play by the end of the season.
I asked my parents, like, how they feel about it, and they was like, whatever I want to do, they're going to be behind me 100% on it. So we decided to do the rehab and go play.
So he began to work. Slowly, he'd strengthen his knee. And in order to put less stress on his ACL, he'd have to change positions once again, this time to wideout, and completely change the way he ran, starting from the ground up.
I mean, literally, we took about 2 weeks of just he and I every day going out and just doing footwork. You could see him mentally just getting stronger and stronger over the last couple of weeks.
You know, he's never given up. He's recovered from 2 injuries. You know, he never wavered. He never pouted. All he did was work hard to give him a chance to get back here in the playoffs.
On week 9, CJ returned to the sidelines. By week 10, he was making plays on the field. And in the Panthers' first playoff game of the year, it finally happened. CJ would get his moment, not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Yo, we did that. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he didn't give up. I mean, it's great to see. This is his first game back, 3 touchdowns off of like 3 carries, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah, first I didn't think that I'd be able to like make it as far as I did now. All the hard work I've been doing, it's the best little ever.
In Sterlington, Spencer Tilley.
All right, nicely done, Spencer. All right, let's talk about the Wasserman Wildcats. This past week, played on Saturday night over in Shreveport against Green Oaks. Man, they were taken to the limit. We knew it was going to be a good football game. We talked about it last Wednesday. But they needed double overtime before this thing got settled, and it was quite the outing. But, hey, they've got their work cut out for them this week going down to Eunice.
I tell you, Paul Trosclair has been the head coach there at Eunice for 23 years, and what a good stand he's made there. A real good football team, and you know, his motto is tough and fast, and that's what the Bobcats are.
Well, I caught up with Dean Smith and got his take on him.
It just gives kids confidence. You know, they know every ball game could be your last game. There's no more do-over, or we'll watch the film and correct the mistakes. It's win or go home, and those kids had that sense of pride for the school and the community, and they really came together and just fought to the end. I'm so proud how the team played. Oh, it was a sea of purple and gold, and the fans came out. It was a perfect night for us. We got them at home, but they're a seasoned veteran ball club. They know how to win on the road. They lost 2 games by more than 3 points. So it's going to be a tough night for us, stopping the run. But, you know, that clock management. They're going to try to manage the clock all night, or there's an opportunity to score that football.
All right, Union Parish fortunate enough to be in the friendly confines on Friday night. They beat up on Bogalusa in the opening round of the playoffs. It kind of sets up a nice little North Louisiana battle as you're looking at some of that ball game against the Lumberjacks. But, boy, they'll face a Gina Giants team that has had a nice run themselves, Joey.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Gina's got several good football players. You know, they went through a stint, Gene, in the middle of the year where they kind of beat up. He's got them all back healthy now, and they're led by Trevion James, a very talented running back.
Well, I promise you, Joe Spatafora knows all about this kid.
You know, no doubt it's never our goal just to make the playoffs, just to make that run in it, you know, and these guys here, these seniors have had a great focus all year, and, you know, they come out very focused last Friday and ultimately took care of business on every aspect of the game. It reminds me of 2 of our opponents that we've already faced, which is Manny and Sterlington. They run that football, they're smash mouth, you know, they're physical up front, and, you know, we're going to have to line up and stop that run game they have, and then defensively the same thing. They're big up front, you know, and they can cause you some trouble, and on the other end, you know, the game's going to be won and lost in the trenches.
Here's a quick look at the 3A schedule on Friday night against Sterlington, Union, Caldwell Parish. We haven't had a chance to talk much about those guys. They've got Madison Prep on Friday night, Joey.
Yeah, now Old Buster's doing a good job, and you know, it's one of them teams Buster said that started off with kind of a sleeper, but they playing good right now.
And of course, Wassman on the road. All right, 2A football Friday night. The Rayville Hornets. They got a nice win over North Caddo on Friday night, and we've heard Lit Bursey talk all season long about slow starts. They went 0-4, 0-5, kind of found their gear a little bit in the second half of the season, and I thought it looked very strong here, as you see in some of the highlights the other night. But man, do they have their work cut out with them this week. Number one, Manny.
Well, you know, they better find overdrive, Gene, because this Manny's football team is the kind of football team that hit you in the mouth. Jeff Curtis, their head coach, has been there 8 years. Hard-nosed, old-fashioned football, the way football should be played, Gene.
Second round, regional round of the playoffs, traveling to Manny High School, playing the Manny Tigers under Coach Curtis. You know, it's vintage football. You know, I own a 65 Chevrolet with the shift still in the collar, so you know, I'm kind of partial to old vintage cars, and this is going to be vintage football. You know, you very seldom you find 11 hands, 10 hands in the dirt. Defensively, I mean, they line up and they find the football. So it's a classic vintage football team we're playing, and if you're old school football, you're going to enjoy it come Friday. The process we talk about here at Rayville, you know, we don't always open up, you know, with the greatest, you know, regular season record, but now's when it counts in the postseason. And hopefully those games that we played, the quality of opponents we played early in the season is going to pay off Friday night, because a lot of the teams we played early in the year mimic what we're going to see Friday night. So hopefully, you know, we learn some things from those teams, and hopefully we can go down to Manny and make a heck of a ball game out of it.
Of course, Joe, we can't get out of 2A without talking about Trenton Trask. Like St. Fred's, I think they've had a phenomenal season. They've done some great things on both sides of the football. And while they have a big ball game against Faraday this week, that was their first playoff game since 1981, 37 years. So kind of bringing some of the magic back.
Yeah, no doubt. And the guy that's bringing it back for that offense is Isaiah Lyons, a running back, Gene, a great football player. He's got all and the coach, a team. I mean, the whole town's excited about football.
Well, they should be. Toriano, tell us about your game on Friday.
We're playing Faraday High School this Friday in Faraday, Louisiana. It's time to be 7 p.m. Faraday is always Faraday. The guys are real fast, they're athletic, they're well coached. Coach Smith and the staff doing a great job down there. When you watch them on film, they're a sight to see. We had a chance to play them early in the season. They're part of our district schedule, and we lost them early in the season. This week we're going in looking to start all over again, have a good game against them on Friday night. It's very exciting to make the playoffs, but this year we had the opportunity of winning, hosting a playoff game, the first time in like 37 years. We won the first round on Friday. It's the first time we won a game in 55 years. So we're kind of trying to move the program in another direction. Well, they've been real great. These are the same guys that started out for 2 consecutive years as freshmen and sophomores, being 0-11, and now to be 8-3 and advance to the second round of playoffs. These guys are doing a tremendous job of being consistent, working hard, and just sticking with the program. And the community is so excited about what's going on. Our administrative staff, from the school board office down to our school administration, everything is buzzing around Lake Providence right now.
All right, everybody, here's a quick look again at the 2A schedule. Best of luck to General Trask. Of course, they're playing Faraday. Got to say the same thing about the Trojans. I hate the two area teams are playing each other. Independence comes up to Vidalia, and Rayville with the challenge of the week as they take on number 1 Manning. All right, everybody, Joey and I are going to kind of wrap this puppy up here on a Wednesday night. We'll do that when we come back.
Welcome to River Grill, a relaxed, friendly place to dine in Monroe. There's always something going on. Stop in for Tito's Taco Tuesday. Watch the game at our place and sample our game day appetizer menu. Unwind with our daily drink specials. During happy hour, get half-off domestic bottles and house wine. Have weekend brunch at River Grill and sip on bottomless mimosas and our signature Build Your Own Bloody Mary. And listen out for live music on our patio. There's always something going on at River Grill.
It's been a few years since my playing days.
Even longer for me, but the dedication to hard work,
the competition too, Dad,
has laid the foundation for the type of attorneys we are.
Our team at the Downs Law Firm is proud to support our local high school football programs.
All season long, you'll hear us on K104 Friday Night Scoreboard Show, and this year we're helping to raise money for local charities as part of our Game of the Week.
Winning on and off the field,
it's what we do.
Get in the game. Call Ross.
You're the first one up in the morning. You're ready for the day, and you've got a lot to do. But sometimes you need a bigger shovel. For over 17 years, Kepper Dirt and Equipment Rental has been keeping the big boys in the big toys. Doesn't matter if you're a hunter, farmer, contractor, or you just like getting dirty. We've got the steel to get the job done right. Kepper Dirt and Equipment Rental. Work done right.
Fox 14, the official home for NFL and New Orleans Saints football.
Everybody, on Friday nights, we hope that you'll join Joey and I, along with Ross Downs and our Clay Parker, on the Tailgate Show on AM 540 and FM 105.7. We'll kind of get you set up for the night ahead. I think we're coming to you live from Union Parish and that ball game against the Gina Giants. And then the big show on K104 from 8 to 10:30. We've been doing that baby for 20 some more years, and boy, I tell you, we've got a huge following. You can check us out on Facebook at K104 Friday Night Scoreboard. But Ross Downs is in the house, and like I said with Clay, and it's just a good place to spend Friday nights, huh?
Especially when it's cold, Gene.
I'm always looking forward
it's a great place to be.
It really is, and we look forward to, we've got reporters and will have reporters at every football game. We'll have all the finals for you, and you can join us on a Friday night, the home for high school football, each and every week. Any thoughts going into this? It's time to buckle down. You know, if you're playing in Turkey Week, you can say you've had a pretty good year. So this is the week that gets you there.
Well, the quality football teams, that's what you always judge. You judge that, did we play during Thanksgiving? That's big.
All right, folks. Next week here on the Red Zone, our final Red Zone of the year, by the way, we're going to be giving away that $2,000 Sonic Drive-In scholarship. So we'll hope you'll join us for that. Certainly looking forward to it. And we'll have a couple other surprises to share with you. So we'll see you then. In the meantime, here's some of the plays of the week brought to you by our good buddy, Eddie Kepper. Folks, see you next Wednesday night.